Hello, hello. Welcome to our 10th community call. I don't know if we've been counting everything since the beginning, Hannah, but this is definitely community call number 10 as far as we know. Um, it kind of seems we had way more of these because we also did the community stand ups before and all types of different events during this last year. Also, I don't know if I talked about this last time or if we talked about this, but Guild is 1 year old. We had our birthday on September 10th, I think, or September 11th. So we're happy birthday, Guild. I don't know if you mentioned that last time, but anyway, so there's already quite a few of you joining. We're reaching 400 listeners. Very, very welcome. Everybody else on the Twitter Spaces as well. So, kind of what we're doing today is we're gonna do a little bit of a like post Berlin week reflections, and then we're getting into testing in production and community experiences with that, and a little bit of product update, plus everything that's kind of around the corner on the product side, community side, team side, and everything else. So the agenda for today, so that everybody knows what's going to happen and when, we'll start with the Berlin reflections really quickly, and then Hannah's going to do the heavy lifting today, actually. So shout out to Hannah. We're doing then the community updates and like what happened with the community in the past 2 weeks, how's the restructuring going, and so on. Then we're getting into how our testing and production of the new features, new update went, and takeaways from that. And then we're getting into the product stuff. So I'll start with the little forward that we always do. What is Guild XYZ? If your first time's here, very welcome. I'm Reka. I'm the co-founder of Guild XYZ. Hannah's our community lead. And Guild XYZ is a membership infrastructure. We essentially want to build the most stable infrastructure for managing access, and we also are building the most usable application on this infrastructure for access management. So welcome. Nice of you to join us if it's your first time, and for everybody else who's always here, hugs and kisses. We're also streaming this on Twitter Spaces, and we're also recording the audio because we're uploading these to our YouTube channel for everybody who's missing. I just uploaded 2 weeks, the community call that we had 2 weeks ago, I just uploaded it to YouTube a few days ago, I think 2 days ago, and it already has 30 views. So I hope it's good utility that we record them. Also, it's going to be nice one day to listen back to the progress and kind of see. It also helps us stay a little bit more accountable with the events and everything. So that's the forward. I'll quickly jump into what happened in Berlin. So if you guys don't know, we're a Europe heavy, very Europe based team. So with the European Ethereum events, we try to be there on almost all of them in some capacity. And Berlin, it's our first time being in Berlin, and I think there was no event in the past 2 years anyway because of COVID and anything. So this has been the first Ethereum event in a while. There's been a hackathon, ETH Berlin. There's been DebCon for more like lecture style events. There's been DuneCon. Dune Analytics had their own full day of convention. There's also been a ZK Summit day, so more like zero knowledge, privacy, very mathematics vibes day. There's also been Regions Unite and more like refi oriented events, and a full day for just data. So we can say that this Berlin event is very, compared to the ones in the US, for example, or just generally like other event series, the Berlin one specifically is like super low noise and high value events and very tech heavy. There's been loads about data storage, data, everything, portability, and just like whole idea of data has been very largely discussed. Also, identity, as it's a very hot topic in the past like 2-3 months. It's been a hot topic in Berlin as well. And very nice to see, as a big sustainability girly myself, that there's a very big movement going on around regenerative thinking. I personally also went to a 2-day event series that's conversations with Web3 and non-Web3 people about everything that's regenerative in our practices and how we can bring more of that into Web3. So I'm kind of giving you guys this update so that you can feel like you were there a little bit, or like at least know what's up in the space if you don't have the privilege like I do to attend these sometimes. And for personally, as like the friend update, like friend group update here for 600 people, I did mostly like personal meetings, so like things that I scheduled with people. I didn't just go to the events. I did mostly like lunch dates, coffee dates, all the funky jazz, so that we can have more valuable, in-depth conversations. I did a lot of dinners, which were extremely nice. Nice in a sense with the people that I had dinner with. And then I mostly focused on deepening connections that I already had. I didn't focus on establishing a lot of new ones. And I was also lucky to be invited to do 2 panels during the week. One of them was about building with inclusivity and accessibility in mind, and kind of how you build community and product with these two values in it. And I think one sentence of what I took away from that, and my most important input in there, was that inclusivity includes accessibility in itself as like a subset. So take it how you want it. If you're also into these type of topics, maybe that's a good thought-provoking sentence for you. If not, leave it, whatever. Pick your battles. And then the other panel was about DAO tooling, which was very fun. It was at the SAFE event. I got a chance to talk more with the SAFE guys about DAO tooling and Radical XYZ. So that was also a very cozy little panel. And then I personally also provoked a lot of conversations about Web3 media in the past month. Since we started kind of the strengthening phase, I had a few hours, extra hours, not just for growing, but like personal growth. And I've been very interested in that aspect. So very lucky to have conversations with people like David Phelps, LDF, Rafa the Builder, about where Web3 media is right now and where it's going. It was extremely good. If I have TLDRs about that or more progress, I'll let you know. It's a very interesting topic for me. So if it is for you, maybe we can make like a subgroup where we can discuss more about it. But without further ado, I'm giving it over to Hannah to talk more about the community stuff. I'm done with all the intros and all the updates about Berlin.
Hi everyone. Rico already introduced me. I'm Han. I'm the community lead at Guild, and I just want to say it because you said like you had a lot of like interesting conversations about all these Web3 things with Rafa and the other guys, and I just have this idea like maybe if you're open to this, we could even make a workshop, like a smaller group of people where we join and we brainstorm about these kind of things, like how we did last time about the quests. It
Yeah.
was so cozy.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'll be so up to it. I have so many takeaways and like smaller ideas that we could definitely do that.
With the maxis or anyone interested. So it's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do it. You and I will
Let
battle it out how and what stage we're doing that for. But we'll let you guys know when it's happening and for which role sections.
Yes, actually, it's accurate with our strategy and all these things.
Yeah, because we're still in the depths of what we talked about the whole last week of the restructuring. Well, not last week, sorry, 2 weeks ago, of the community strategy and the new role system and like these all onboarding and information flows. We're still very much in the depths of that with Hannah, so it makes sense to put this new workshop style hangout thing or discussion in the package there. So extremely accurate.
Yes. Let me just jump straight into what's happening with the community. Like, how Rika said now, like last time we talked about like rebuilding community strategies, and we're really in the depth of it. Like it's in progress. Like we're still like working on the strategy on like weekly/daily basis. We're really trying to take our time. So like researching, evaluating like every single step we take with the team, like evaluating the new perspectives and sharing it with like more and more with other team members. So when it's gonna be out, it's gonna hit. That's for sure. Like I'm so excited about it. This is one thing that is happening like with the internal community, basically like with the team behind the product. But what's happening in the external community, like the guild members, is we are going to have some contribution opportunities. There are some upcoming opportunities for you, for everyone who is involved in D&I initiatives. What's this thing is this thing may have already been mentioned that we're supporting Wonderverse in Gitcoin grants round 15. So we are supporting them with creating these D&I like diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at Guild for like grantee organization contributors. I don't know like how many of you guys are familiar with that, but we are like starting soon with the contribution opportunities. We're gonna be posting them soon around Friday. Then there's gonna be like a big announcement about it next week. And when it's gonna actually kickstart, it will be going on until the end of November. So this is something which is really new for us also, because at Guild we had a few contribution opportunities already, like bounties or like content creation or anything, but not like in a big, like in a big size. So it's something new for us also. So stay tuned, and if you require any like information about it, just let me know, hit me up, and I'll guide you through like what is it exactly. One more thing that was happening in the community last week, like since the last time we talked, it's actually the merch paint party, which is like I'm so proud of, because it was actually the first community-led event we ever had, because some true maxis and some enthusiastic guilders, they just joined forces and represented the entire community at the official merge pop art paint party. So now, like the Guild Castle will be there forever. We made it to history. They were so like kind enough to join with their co-ops that they built and support us with like painting the Guild Castle. So this is amazing. We loved it. Unfortunately, we couldn't attend it because at our time it was around I think 4 a.m. or something like this. But like some of our nights were like nice enough. It was actually Logonaut and Floppy Ape from the nights who initiated this whole thing. So shout out to them and everyone who was involved. Like, thank you so much. I know I already asked for some contacts who was there. So I'm sorry, my DMs are flooded now, but I'll get back to you. And we just want to say thank you for all the things that you did on the paint party. Besides this, it was actually at the same time we had testing prod experiences. That's another thing that I want to touch on after these whole community happenings. Is actually last week we organized 2 testing prod, like be early with us alpha tests in the community. Like you may know that already we have early testers, but we wanted to have a load testing, which means like testing our new feature with like a broader audience, like broader participants. What we were actually testing is a new feature that has something to do with the POAPs, is POAPs voice requirement feature. Basically, it means that like guild owners and admins have the opportunity to set up specific requirements to be able to claim the POAPs, which means user will have to be in the voice channel at the same time of the event. And the community builders can choose from like guild admins, how we call them. They can choose from 2 different kind of requirement setup. First, they can set up, for example, okay, everyone will be able to get the club, the pop, who was there at the call for like 10 minutes or who was there for 10% of the call. So this is super exciting. It like raises a question like what actually participation means, like who is able to get the props. So this is what we were testing, and we were really happy because, as I said, we organized 2 tests and there were like almost 600 joint members / tests. So we had the opportunity to test everything. And by the way, it's just a side note. At the same time, there was some Twitch streaming test on the second test. So some of you were able to like chat with me there also. It was the time when Reka was in Berlin, so it was just me, my camera, my screens, and it was really good to make some connection with you guys. It was something new for us, how it is be on the call when you're all like video is like the camera is switched on and all these things. So we were testing that one also. We are just playing around. What was the outcome of it? The whole test is, as I said, we were able to do the load testings and some bugs came out that we either didn't think about or didn't come out with a smaller group of testers. So we are super happy that we were able to do it with you guys so we could like fix everything. And in the second that we are talking now is like not launched yet, but after we tested it with our guild, we just gave early access to the Pull Together team on Friday. So on their last community call and swim meet, they used this feature actually in action. And just what happened, everything went smoothly. Thanks to the load testing, we were able to fix every bug that came out at the testing phase. So we assisted them from the background. So everyone who fulfilled the requirement that they set up, they got the props. So it's so good, so good. I'm so happy, like from like on behalf of the whole team, we can make it happen. So it's coming to your way very soon. Also, we're gonna keep you updated. What else is coming from a product side? Besides the voice participation, like everything that's like, as we said, that's around the corner from a product perspective, like updates on what the devs are working in the back. We always say that like we really love to be like super transparent about like what is happening. So we want to give you some update, like about what's happening in the back. So TLDR, like you might like know that we went to a retreat at the end of summer, and then we just went into like September in full force. And what the focus was is bug fixing. So it was the main focus so far, like fixing all the bugs that was happening with the different rewards, requirements, anything that was coming to our way with the tickets. And now like still we are focusing on the bug fixes, but also there's like a broader focus now, which is like stability and scalability. So now stability and scalability is still the main focus at product level, besides like doing all the maintenance. What is happening is that we now have this Guildify feature. If you are familiar with that, if you're not, Guildifying feature means that already existing Discord roles is like you can migrate them, like you can convert them into your guild. And what the guys are doing in the back now is like the whole operation of the Guildify feature, it will be simplified at code level. So this is what they are really like working on now. And besides the dev focus, like what is happening is like they are working on getting various integrations into the guild faster. This is basically what I'm talking about is mainly like on the backend side. And also if I'm talking about the front end side, is that the devs are focusing on updating the external packages that we use. So the packages that they are using, it's not exactly up to date. So what they're doing is like getting everything like to be up to date. I don't know how many times I said up to date. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
let
It's fine.
let me give you the stage now.
Okay.
Like this from my side, the product.
I'll add a little bit of like bigger picture stuff here. Still on the product front. So, as you guys know, how Guild works is that we have requirements, we have roles, and then we give rewards for completing these. The whole infrastructure is built on the basis of this, like 3 words, 3 steps of everything that you can imagine and put together on Guild with all the on-chain requirements, off-chain requirements, all the different gazillion combination that you can do with all the chains integrated. Everything comes down to these 3 things. So when you set the requirements, the things to do, the kind of the rules for getting the role and then the reward, setting up all the membership layers, the roles, how you want the community to be structured. Is it like 1,000 role, very deeply structured, cross-platform big community, or do you just have like a simple guest pass and also like one more seriouser role that like allows people to get deeper into the community? And then the question of what you set as abilities or rewards that are usually access to some things like private conversation, chat groups, parts of websites, but are also actions. For example, you can gate on-chain actions as well. You can gate minting sites. So, for example, people who don't satisfy your requirements and get the role cannot mint your NFT. You can set stuff like that as well. Why I'm saying this is that the whole structure is like this, and our team has been largely set up as research and development-ish working groups. So we were focused more on different working areas, but right now we recently decided to kind of change the pace a little bit. And since we plan to do 30 plus integrations ourselves this year, we merged the team in a way that now we have separately working team parts of team separately working on the requirements, parts of the team that's kind of like essentially like the whole connecting the whole backend like database and everything, working on the roles. And then we also have parts of the team working on plugging in the new reward sources and reward integration. So we set ourselves up for being able to accelerate these integrations, because that's what we want to achieve by the end of the year with the product, is that this platform-less quests, this like platform agnostic access management actually be visible and be very apparent for everybody with all the integrations that we're doing. We want to have more usability and way better UX on Web3. So for that, we are doing a lot of these integrations, and that require us to experiment with this setup right now. It works really well so far. We'll see how it continues, but that's been great. That's kind of the bigger picture update here. We can get into the what's coming, if you'd like to say that, Hannah.
Yes. So that's all about the community, the product, everything that is currently happening. So what is coming now is that, we are having our community calls on every second week. So next week, we are not going to have the community call, but we're going to have something else, which is super exciting for our team, is that we are going to have a new event, which is like ERL event. The name of the event is like Guild X Startup Hungary Web3 Developer Meetup. And what it's going to be about is we're going to go in a co-working space. We're going to have our own stage, and in a conversational format, we'll introduce the Guild product and the whole technology behind it, as well as give an insight into the day-to-day life of our team, like how our team are like set up, how we are communicating and doing all the work together, and the day-to-day life of the social crypto. So actually talking a bit about the whole community, like talking about you guys, like who we are talking with, like dealing with every single day. managing all the things around everyone's happiness. So this is my part of what's coming. Do you have anything else, Rika, that you want to add to it?
Not really. I think that's fun on the IRL front. Other than that, we'll figure out when and how we're doing more of these workshops in the coming weeks about like media things, more community management, and just like workshops about our new features that are coming out and new integrations. But stay tuned for all the announcements. We're planning like a large raid of announcing everything one after the other, all the integrations that we're grinding out right now. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, we're still taking a little bit slower. We're doing more behind the scenes work that is not as publication worthy yet, but it's going to be. So yeah, that's kind of it for today. That's the update so far.